All right, here we go with chapter 8. So we're going to start off by talking about what functions are and how they are in relationships with ordered pairs and tables. We talked about this way back in chapter 1, so let's see what you remember. Determine whether the relation is a function. In order for it to be a function, the domain cannot repeat. So back in chapter 1, we talked about domains and ranges. So when we talk about domains and ranges, the domain is what we call the x value right here, and the range is called the y value. And we talked about that before. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at this and you're going to look at your domains. In order for it to be a function, when I graph this, I cannot have 2 points that are stacked vertically to each other. So that would mean that the domain would have to repeat. So think about graphing this right here. This point would be 1, 2, 3 to the left and then 3 down. So it would be right here. This one would be 1 to the left and 1 down. This would be at 0, 0. And this would be 1 to the left and 1 up. Do you see how these 2 points are stacked? That's what makes it not a function. So the domain cannot repeat. So that's what you're looking at. So you would say, and this is the script, know who's the problem, -1, where is it located in the domain is paired with both -1 and 1 in the range. That's exactly what I want you to be able to write. Don't just say no because the domain repeats, okay? So you look at this one, you look at the x values, and none of the x values repeat. It doesn't matter if the y values repeat. It only matters if the x values repeat. And because the x values are not repeating, you can say, yes, each x value is paired with only one y value. This one, again, looking at your domains right here, you're able to say yes because each x value is paired with only one y value. And this one, you're going to say no because 1 in the domain is paired with both 4 and 2 in the range. And as a result, if I graphed it, I would start to stack it vertically, and we can't stack it vertically. And so this is your script. Determine whether it's a function. Remember, I said it can't be stacked. What you use is what's called the vertical line test. And so the vertical line test is if you took like a pencil or a ruler or some type of a straight edge and you drew it like this, and you look to see at any time does 2 points stack on top of each other. And in this case, in this parabola, it passes the vertical line test. So you would say yes, passes the vertical line test. You could say in your homework VLT. This one, a sidewise parabola, and see when you do your vertical line test, it hits 2 points at the same time. That's what makes this no, because it doesn't pass the vertical line test. You would have 2 domains being the same. Does this data represent a function in this? Yes. So this is what's called your FED. So is it a function, yes or no? Explain to me why you're saying it's a function, and then describe what's happening. So this is your F and E, and the next slide will say D. So is it a function? Yes. Explain. For every number of hours, there's a unique number of boxes made. Or you could say for every 10 hours, there's 3,000 boxes made. That's your explanation. Your description is saying for every 10 hours, the number of boxes increases by 3,000. It's describing exactly what's happening in the story. So remember your script before was yes, because it passes the vertical line test, or yes, because each x value has a unique y value. This is specific to the story. For each 10 hours, only one amount of boxes is made. And then it'll say describe as the numbers of hours increase. So you're getting some descriptive words in there. So you could even say as the number of hours increase by 10 you'd say that. The number of boxes produced increases by 3,000. Okay? So that's a description. F-E-D. So again, here's an F, E, and the D will be in the next slide. Function, yes. Explain. For every 5 hours, there's a unique number of chairs made. Description, as the hours increase, the number of chairs made increases. So that's your D. And that's it for 8.1. Pretty easy.